Welcome. Join me for a 15-minute body scan. I am really excited to be sharing mindfulness with you. Mindfulness and meditation has changed my life for the better in so many incredible ways that I have decided for the rest of my life I will be practicing one and I'll be sharing it with others because I think it's so important. This practice helps us to befriend our mind, our beautiful mind that produces thousands and thousands of thoughts, and not all of them are reliable, which is one of the number one reasons. There's so many reasons to practice, but I think that is one of the top reasons to practice being in the present moment. It really helps you to identify which thoughts are worth paying attention to and which thoughts are worth letting go. Today we're going to practice a body scan. We're going to start with the soles of the feet and we're going to work all the way to the top. Because I find that many of us are living in our heads, having lots of thoughts, and we're not in our bodies. And this practice really helps you to get into your body. So please find a dignified, comfortable posture, whether it's sitting or standing. By dignified, I mean that one straight line from the head, the throat, the sternum, the base of the spine, one line as best you can. Finding a place that feels comfortable to place your hands. And I encourage you to close your eyes. If that doesn't feel comfortable, then you may choose to focus your gaze and soften it. Bringing the awareness to the breath. As if it's the first time you've paid attention to the breath. From the beginning of the inhale to the end of the exhale, just witnessing the breath as if it's the first time. Seeing if you can notice the transition from when the inhale ends and the exhale begins. If the mind wanders, which it will, it's not a big deal, just gently bring it back to this moment. Anytime during our practice, if the mind wanders, which is very normal, with kindness and compassion, just bring the mind back to the practice. Starting with the soles of the feet, just paying attention. Noticing any sensations or lack of sensation in the soles of the feet. There's no right or wrong, just noticing. Noticing if you can feel any temperature in the soles of the feet. Just noticing if you can detect temperature. Noticing if there's any pressure or any tension in any part of the foot. And don't worry if you can't feel the foot. Just focus on knowing it's there. You still know the soles of the feet are there, even if you can't sense them. And what matters is just keeping the attention on the soles of the feet. We pay attention not to change anything, but just to observe. Bringing the awareness to the legs. Scanning from the ankle to the hip, starting on the right leg. Just scanning the right leg from the ankle to the hip. And just noticing any sensations or any lack of sensations. That's an observation too. Bringing the awareness to the left leg from the left ankle to the left hip. Just scanning mentally. Just noticing which parts of the leg you can feel and sense, and which parts of the leg maybe you don't feel or sense. Again, there's no right or wrong, just noticing. And if at any time the mind wanders, it's okay. It will. It's what the mind does. Just bring it back. Bring it back to this practice. Bringing the awareness to the hips and the small of the back. Just scanning this area and noticing. Sometimes it's easier to be aware of this area. This area may have more sensation. Just noticing if there's any tension being held in the hips, the small of the back, or any lack of tension. Where is the mind now? Noticing when the mind wanders, where it goes. Does it go to thinking about the future? Or rehashing the past? Just noticing and then bringing the mind back to this practice. Focusing on the hips and the small of the back. Focusing on the front of the torso. So much happens here. The belly, the ribs, the lungs. Just scanning the front of the torso. Noticing any sensations or lack of sensations. Bringing the awareness to the back of the torso, from the small of the back all the way up to the base of the neck. It's the full length of the spine, your back muscles, just scanning this area. Noticing if there's any sensations or lack of sensations. Not to change, just to pay attention. So often the body is just taken for granted as it carries you through your day. during this time, paying attention and getting to know what's there. It's the full length of the spine, just noticing. At any time, if the mind wanders, gently bringing it back to the practice. During this time, while we practice mindfulness, we're practicing here, and really it's practice for life. So that when we leave this practice, maybe we'll remember throughout the day to bring our awareness back to the present moment, focusing on what it is we're doing in that moment, instead of thinking of the future or rehashing the past, practicing spending more time in the moment. Bringing the awareness to the right arm, the full length of the arm, from the tips of the right fingertips all the way up to the right shoulder. Slowly scanning the right arm. Just noticing any sensations or lack of sensations in the right arm. Bringing the awareness to the left arm, the full length of the left arm, from the left fingertips all the way up to the shoulder. Noticing if there's any tension or lack of tension in the left arm. Just paying attention to what's there. If the mind wanders, gently bringing it back. We bring our awareness to the head, from the base of the spine, the neck, and the head. So much happens here. Taking a moment to scan and notice any sensations in the eyes, the nose, the jaw, the mouth. Scanning the right ear, scanning the left. Just noticing. For a few breaths, we're going to scan the entire body, using the breath, inhaling in, scanning from the top of the head all the way down to the soles of the feet. Imagining the breath as a magnet. And with each inhale, the breath acting as a magnet, going straight to any parts of the body that may be holding tension. And with each exhale, letting that tension go. I'm going to provide silence for 3 full cycles of breath, so that you can focus on inhaling in, using the breath as a magnet, going straight to any tension within the body, and exhaling, letting it go. With the next inhale, bringing the awareness back to the room, introducing small movements to the fingers and the toes, just wiggling the fingers and the toes, opening the eyes if they were closed. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice. It's not easy to sit and be in the present moment. And I know I used to think that I was doing things wrong because my mind was wandering all the time. It still does. I was very lucky to meet some beautiful teachers that reassured me over and over, this is normal. The mind is very active. It's nothing to take personal. And simply spending time in the present moment, knowing the mind will wander, but with compassion, bringing it back over and over, is a really wonderful practice. It's one of the kindest, most loving things I've ever done for myself. And if you feel any benefits, I would love to hear from you. If you want more, again, I have a podcast now where I am storing all of these recordings so that they're available on audio. And on YouTube, I have a mindfulness meditation channel with, I think I'm over 20 meditations now. So please use them, share them. I'm rooting for your success. Thank you again for joining me and have an amazing day. Thank you.